Hi everyone, hope you're good. So today I am reviewing the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Full Coverage Lightweight Protective Makeup Foundation, and this is SPF 50. And I have the shade Warm Coconut. This is 356. Now I'm just going to go into Superdrug so I can get the full claims. So it says makeup meets skincare with the new all-in-one protective makeup. Maybelline's first full coverage foundation with a lightweight, barely there feel combined with SPF 50 broad spectrum physical sunscreen. And it says it's enriched with antioxidants, which are including vitamin E, vitamin B3 and bicaline. And that's spelled B-A-I-C-A-L-I-N-E. Never heard of it, but I will do some research and add it to the screen as you're reading this. And it says it helps to form a protective shield against pollution, dermatologist tested, suitable for sensitive skin, non-comedogenic, i.e. doesn't clog pores. It's clinically tested to lock in moisture. And it says it's best suited for normal to dry skin types. Again, the finish is flawless, natural looking skin. It comes in 20 shades and a bunch of other claims in here in terms of customer satisfaction. Yeah, but anyway, so this foundation retails for $10.99 on Superdrug. It's actually currently on 2 for £12, but again, obviously that's a promotion. I don't know how long that will last for. And in terms of the quantity you get the standard 30 ml, that's 1 fluid ounce. And in terms of like my own skin type, so I have normal skin on the perimeter and I have oily skin in the center of my face, so i.e. my nose, sometimes like my chin, the corners of my nose, the center of my forehead, and my brows actually get oily, and I have oily eyelids as well. So that's my skin, and as you can see I have some healing scars. I'm not currently suffering from any acne. Obviously I have acne prone skin. I have a huge scar here which will actually test in terms of the full coverage, so that will be useful. I have a scar here that's healing. I also have a video coming up talking about what I'm using on my skin to heal my scars and to clear my skin. My skin is in a really good place right now. You know, it's been up and down, and I'm just testing out a few other things to improve the texture of my skin and obviously the clarity. So my skin is in a really good place. I just have a few residual scars to clear. So this will be a really, really good test to see whether or not this is actually full coverage. And what else is there? Oh yeah, so I also have the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. This is in the shade Caramel 40, and this is in the shade Tan 45. So this concealer has been quite popular on YouTube as of last year, and I wanted to try it out, but then I was just working through quite a few products at the time, so I thought let me just wait a while, let the dust settle and see what people really think, just in case any new claims come out about this foundation. So this is supposed to be full coverage. We have 6 ml of product, and yeah, so let me just read the claims for this concealer as well. Obviously we know it's full coverage, but I want to know if it actually has any additional skincare benefits. So this concealer actually also has so this concealer is also on the 2 for £12 promotion, so you can get one of these and one of these for £12, which is amazing. The concealer originally retails for $9.99, which is quite steep for a drugstore, I think, anyway. And then it says watch as dark circles are instantly swiped out. This concealer effortlessly glides onto the skin for an up to 24-hour transformation. This full coverage concealer transforms the look of tie-dyes. So it claims to be waterproof, transfer proof, smudge proof, full coverage and lasting transformation in one quick swipe, whatever that means. But anyway, so yeah, so those are the claims. And let's just apply some products and see how this wears. The time is, what time is it now? 3:15 right now, so it's getting on quite a bit in the day. I'm going to keep this on my face for as long as possible, so I'll come back at night, like really late. I'll try and keep this on up until like 10, so we get like a 7-hour wear. I do prefer to do a full, like a 12-hour wear, but so maybe what I might do actually, I'll wear this again tomorrow to work. And I'll be able to give you a full wear test using all the same products as well. So you know, we'll keep it level. So the first thing I want to do is apply my primer. So I have my trusted W7 Prime Magic primer. It's a silicone based primer. I use it in nearly all my testing videos, and I apply it to the center of my face. And how's everybody doing for the new year? Hope everything is going really well. It's been an interesting year so far, but interesting in a good way. So I'm just feeling refreshed, revived, and ready to tackle the year and, you know, see what challenges it throws and how I deal with it. So how are you coping? Leave a comment down below. And yeah, what have you discovered this year? And you know, in the last couple of weeks that we've been in this year, what have you discovered so far, i.e. about yourself or about somebody else this year? That's a, you know, quick question for the day. So as usual, I will try and do two things for, you know, two different people, i.e. the people who love to apply their foundation by brush and the people who love to apply their foundation by sponge. So this is my Velcro sponge. This is my microfiber sponge from, what is it called? I've forgotten the name of the company already again. Basically, it's the Juno & Co. dupe. And this is like, so this company is based in the UK. I discovered them on Instagram, and I've talked about this in another videos, which I'll link. So this sponge actually is quite good because it offers full coverage when it's dry, and when it's wet, it applies foundation like a regular sponge. But the main point of it is that it saves you foundation. So hopefully it should perform really well with this foundation. So I'll apply one side of my face with a sponge and the other with a brush. So this sponge has seen better days, so I just hope it doesn't affect the way the foundation applies. So I've tested out, oh, actually another good shout out for this particular foundation is that it actually had about 2 or 3 shades, I want to say, that were quite close to my skin tone, that just going by the color of the tube I thought would have been a good match. So I'm hoping this still is, because I actually got this towards the end of last year, I want to say November or something. So I don't know if it matches, and I hope I've made a good choice because I tested this out in store. So in terms of the consistency, it's not too runny and not too thick, and it seems like it might be a good match. I've just got about a drop on the back of my hand there. So right off the bat, it looks quite yellow. I do have yellow undertones to my skin, but this seems to be a little bit more golden than I'm used to. So I will definitely be able to balance this out once I'm done with my powder and my concealer and everything else in my routine. But so far, this is what one layer looks like. So I can still see like my scars coming through, and it hasn't covered the scar on my nose. So next I'm going to apply some more foundation with this flat top brush, which I love. I got it from Poundland, and it's such a strong brush. I can use this for like 4 or 5 days straight in a row, and it applies foundation like a dream, which I hadn't seen before, because normally I have to swap out my brushes after like 3 uses or so, or 2 or 3 uses. So this can literally go for nearly a week. So right off the bat, I can say this definitely has a glow to it. You can see that. I'm not sure about the full coverage claim, simply because I've applied the normal amount of foundation I normally apply, and it's still not covered my acne scars, and I actually honestly don't think it's going to. It's covered it reasonably well, and which this is good enough for me for everyday use. But in terms of the claim of it being full coverage, I won't say that it is. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit just so you can see. This looks quite orange and a little bit dark, but we'll make it work. So this is what this side looks like, and this side. So I can't see any difference in terms of application. So I definitely say it applies the same with a sponge, or at least the sponge I've used, versus a brush. So next we're going to try the concealer. And actually, how many shades does the concealer come in? Because I'm not even sure. So it's available in 10 shades. Yeah, so I did find that when I went into Superdrug, it didn't have as many shades as I normally, as I'm used to seeing, or at least as I would like anyway. And yeah, that's the only thing I'd say about this particular concealer. So I will swatch the shade Tan for you and the shade Caramel. So they look quite close on my skin. So this is Tan and that is Caramel. And you can see the doe foot is an interesting shape. It's triangular and it's a sponge tip as well. So, oh, also another thing with the foundation, apart from the fact that it looks extremely dewy right now, I'm not sure if it's drying down or not. I feel like, yeah, you can see on my fingers that it's not quite set yet. So you do have to be careful. So I'm trying not to apply too much. You know, the typical amount that we normally see in YouTube videos. And I'm just layering on Caramel nearer, closer to my eye. And I'm going in with Tan a bit further down. And I'll use Tan on my forehead. And I'll see if it will cover the center of my nose. I will say these tubes feel a little bit empty, like they're just full of air, so that's another thing to bear in mind. You don't actually get that much product in there, so 6 ml is not really a lot of product. So just so you can see, it doesn't seem to be settling too much into my under eyes. It seems to be blended really well, but I expected it to have a bit more coverage. So as you can see, it looks like the little scar on the top of my nose has actually been mostly covered, but there's still a little bit on Okay, so this is what my face looks like with the concealer. The concealer, I found the consistency is really light and almost mousse-like in texture, and it's not like thick like I thought it was going to be, because it's supposed to be a full coverage concealer. I'd definitely say it's not my most full coverage concealer just based on the consistency and how it's blended out, but it has offered a good amount of coverage. My skin still looks quite dewy and quite healthy. So what I'm going to do is finish off the rest of my makeup routine. It's just going to be a really simple routine today. I'm not doing too much. and I will come back and show you what my face looks like, and then we're just going to do a wet test and see how long this foundation and concealer combination actually lasts. Okay, so far so good. I have powdered down, applied the rest of my face, and I'm just going to talk to you the products I used, so it's just so you know. I used, what did I use first? Okay, so I used the Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder. It's this one, and it's in the shade Deep Golden. And I used this first to set my under eyes, and then I went over with my Coty Airspun, and I basically just, in fact I didn't just use it on my under eyes, I used it on my T-zone, so in the center of my face, everywhere that I applied concealer basically, and I used it around my eyes as well. And then I followed it up with the Coty Airspun Translucent Extra Coverage powder. Then I used another powder I haven't used in a while, but I've been using my day-to-day. So this is the LA Girl Pro Face powder. You can see I have hit more than pan. It's about to be finished, and this is in the shade Warm Caramel, and that's what I used on the perimeter of my face. And then I went in with my Revolution Matte Base Powder in P14, and this is what I used to like slightly contour the rest of my face and my nose. Oopsie. And then I went in with my Revolution Cheek Kit, and this is the Make It Count Cheek Kit. This is what it looks like. I used these two shades for as highlights. I just applied a little bit, I didn't apply too much. And I used the red shade as blush. And what else is there? And then now I just need to set the rest of my face with my Sport Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray. And just another thing as well, I do feel like this foundation did set really well. So once you've powdered it down, it looks normal again. The only thing I have a feeling it might do is to settle into my smile lines, and that's another problem I have with most foundations. Yeah, so that's one thing I wish foundations didn't do. If I can find the perfect foundation that doesn't settle into my smile lines for the whole day, I will be so happy. I don't even care if it makes my face oily. If it doesn't settle into my smile lines, I am happy as Larry. So this is a close-up just so you can see, and like I said, I can kind of see a little faint line on this side. This is the side of my smile line. This is like where my smile line shows a bit more. It doesn't show as much on this side. So yeah, this is what my face looks like for now. I'm just gonna see how it wears for the rest of the day, and I'll update you later on. Okay, so this is what my finished face looks like, and I just wanted to show you after I've already styled my hair, just so you can see. I feel like the foundation's settled into my skin a bit more now that I have set my face. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. Again, I feel like I can see a little crease action in my smile lines, and you can definitely see the shadow of where my scars used to be. So they are still there. I do feel like it looks a bit more blurred. Let me just see if I can adjust. So I feel like it looks a bit more blurred in person. Like in person, it looks like I've got great skin, but I feel like maybe the lighting isn't necessarily best to show it on camera, but in person it looks really, really good. And it looks like it's a really good match for my skin. So everything evened out eventually. Yeah. So I'll come back and show you how it wears a bit later on. Hi everyone, hope you're good. So I'm back and the time is 11:50. So I have had this foundation and concealer combination on my face since, what was it, 3:30 or so. So that is 8+ hours. The one thing I will definitely say about this foundation is that it's lasted a lot longer than I thought it would have, because it was extremely dewy when I first applied it, so that's a win. The only other thing as well that I didn't expect is that I actually thought like it would have broken up like around my smile lines a lot more than it has. So I'm not sure if you can see, this part of my face is still intact. At least this smile line is more or less intact, It's just this one that's a little bit indented, and it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be as well, because of the fact that it was already creased from like when I first applied it. I actually thought the foundation might dig a bit deeper, maybe like an hour or so in, but it actually hasn't gone that much worse. It actually hasn't gone worse than when I initially applied the foundation, so that's also a good sign. So with regards to the concealer, I'm not sure if you can see, but there are some deep set creases in my eyes, and yeah, it's on both eyes. So I'll try this foundation and concealer again tomorrow, just to make sure that it's not just me, and then I'll come back again and tell you what it wears like. So that tomorrow's wear would be a lot longer. So today's wear is about 8 hours or so, but tomorrow's wear will be about 11-12 hours. So I will see whether or not I did something different or wrong today, or you know, I don't know. I have been cooking in a hot kitchen, so maybe that's affected it, I don't know. But yeah, apart from that, the under eye area is more or less matte. As you can see, there is no shine there. It is just on my face that you can see quite a bit of shine, especially on this side, I want to say. Yeah, I definitely say this side is a lot shinier. I'm also trying out a different technique, which I'm doing a separate video on, so I will talk a bit more about that. It's just going to be a quick short video on a tip that I've seen on YouTube that's been given out by pro makeup artists especially, and other people as well. So I'll talk about that in another video. But in terms of how the foundation's worn, it's performed a lot better than I thought, given how dewy it was. Like, it actually felt like one of those old school kind of not greasy, but really dewy and moisturizing what you call it, sunscreens that you would get back in the day. The type of sunscreens that have given all sunscreens a bad name in terms of being greasy. So that's kind of what I thought in terms of when I first applied it. I mean, it did look good, and even when I powdered down, it did take powdering really well as well. So that's a good plus. And it wasn't tacky when I finished as well, and it blended into my skin immediately. So it looked like my normal foundation. Once I did my whole routine, it looked like my normal foundation routine. Like, you wouldn't know I was trying out a different foundation. It's just the way it's worn now that you can see. And even sometimes some of my everyday foundations look like this at the end of the day as well. So, you know, it's not actually that bad at all. So I would say, given the finish it was, I expected it to look a lot more oilier than it does now, and I expected it to break down a lot faster, you know, a lot quicker than it has. So it hasn't actually broken down per se. You can just see that it's oily. So I'm gonna see how it wears tomorrow and then update you, and then, you know, we will wrap this up. Hey everybody, so I just wanted to give you a quick update on how the Maybelline Urban Cover yada yada foundation has basically lasted for the whole day. So I had this foundation on from just before around 6:30, and the time is, what time is it? 7:33 now, so that is 13 hours. Yeah, as you can see, my face is visibly oily, but I feel like it's maybe not as oily as it was yesterday. The only thing that I feel like I might have done differently is to work over the foundation with my sponge. So today, for some reason, I just thought, let me just apply the foundation with my the same velvet sponge that I used yesterday, and I used that all over my face, and then I went in with my powder, you know, concealer powder, the whole thing, the exact same products I used yesterday. And yes, I basically just used the same thing, and I feel like it's not as oily. And yes, so I just went in with my powder as per usual, and this is what my face looks like. I can appreciate that, you know, the quality won't be as good as my camera quality. I'm currently filming on my phone, and I hope you can see that I have some creasing in my smile lines. I feel like this is only slightly there, and this is a lot more pronounced. It's cracked in the corners of my nose. Obviously my nose is oily. My forehead is slightly shiny, and the rest of my face is reasonably fine. My chin is a bit like congealed in this chin area, and as you can see, again, it doesn't offer full coverage like it didn't yesterday. Yeah, so that's about it. It's kind of, oh, and also the concealer as well. So the concealer actually didn't perform as badly as it did yesterday. What I did was swap the products around. So yesterday I used my Maybelline loose setting powder first, and then I went over with my Coty Espon. Today I thought, let me just set the concealer first with my Coty Espon, and then I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder, and that seems to work properly, or work a bit better. So that's what I did. Apart from that, that's really all I did differently. So I still stuck to the same set of products that I used the previous day, only now I've worn the foundation for a lot longer, and the concealer as well. So I feel like the concealer isn't actually that bad if using the right products to set it. Yeah, so it's not that bad at all. But yeah, for the Dewy foundation, that's basically sunscreen. Like, it is SPF 50, it is extremely dewy, it took to powder really well. And I actually wanted to also know, or at least like also say that, you know, just because the foundation has SPF 50, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't use your sunscreen. So, and the reasoning behind that is that the prescribed amount that people are supposed to use in terms of the quantity of sunscreen they're supposed to use obviously will only give them the advertised SPF factor. So yes, I think typically you're supposed to use about a teaspoon's worth. Clearly no one's going to use a teaspoon's worth of foundation for them to get that SPF factor 50. So obviously most of us will probably use a quarter of that, if that. So I didn't use that much foundation to get the coverage that I needed. So clearly I'm not going to get that SPF 50 that's advertised, because I didn't use the quantity that I need to. So it's just to let you guys know. So if you don't normally use sunscreen, please start wearing sunscreen. Everybody needs sunscreen. It will help your skin tremendously. You won't know it now, but you know it later. Your future self will thank you for it. And also, you know, this foundation is just great because, I mean, I can't discount it just because it turned oily on me, or because, you know, my chin went a bit claggy or whatever. I can't discount it because it's such it has such good protective properties to it that I feel like maybe if it was mixed with a matte foundation, or if you maybe use a bit more powder, you know, or mixed in with powder, maybe that will fix it. So maybe I'll try that as well. I'll do that in a separate video or something, or I'll update you guys, I don't know. But yeah, yeah, just to add, you know, please still wear sunscreen. The fact that it has SPF 50 doesn't mean you shouldn't wear sunscreen. Yeah, so that's about it. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. It really helps me out and lets the YouTube algorithm, you know to promote my video, and I could do with a bit of that. I've been on this gig for 3 years now. It's time to start seeing some great results. So yeah, help me get to that target of 1K subscribers, and hit the subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, it doesn't mean you're gonna get spammed with my videos. However, if you do hit the notification bell, you will get alerted when I upload, and I don't upload more than twice a week. So yeah, there's that. So if you want to subscribe, that would really help me out. Please do hit that button, and also hit the like button as well. So yeah, I hope I said that already, but anyway, until next time, stay blessed, have a good morning, afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are. I will catch you in my next video. Bye.